but me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome. You are here in the lab room. Of course, I'm your man, Louie Tee, and this is Louie Tee Live. Week 3 of the preseason being wrapped up with this final episode as we've broken down all of the games in week 3 of the preseason in the National Football League and got a chance to finally watch the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Chicago Bears, the Bears, in week 3 of the preseason. So I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But first, as always, if this is your first time here on the channel, welcome and subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content in 2016 and beyond. There's already a boatload of content in the vault, so go check that out. If you've been missing out on the best football program on YouTube, hey, welcome aboard, man. And there are other social media platforms where you can find me right down below. On Twitter, @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Give me a follow there. On Facebook as well. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Give me a thumbs up and a like there. So if you want to have your voice heard on this program and you're watching live, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook, leave the comment with the hashtag attached, as you see scrolling at the bottom of the screen, Louie Tee Live. If you want your comment read, and I will read it at the end of the show, and we can have running dialogue back and forth if you have a comment that you want read on the air. So with that being said, let's jump into the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears in week 3 of the preseason in a format that I like to call likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe. Like, dislike, banana in the tailpipe.
What y'all, the second team?
We're the first team.
Yeah, we're not gonna fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
So this format is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Likes, the things that I liked from both of these ball clubs in this football game. Dislikes, of course, the things that I didn't like from these two teams in this game. And then the banana in the tailpipe is the oldest trick in the book. It's something that I'm not going to fall for, whether it be good or bad. It's something that I've seen from this team in this game that I said to myself, hey, they look damn good at this in this game, but that doesn't mean they're going to be that good at that all season long in 2016. Or it could be vice versa, the direct opposite. Hey, they look pretty bad at this in this game, but that doesn't mean they're going to be that bad. That's not a good representation of who they're going to be in 2016. So we'll get to the banana in the tailpipe at the end. First, want to start with the likes from the road team, as I customarily do. And that was the Kansas City Chiefs. So going to look at the Chiefs in this game, and I like the fact that Eric Berry is back. No, he did not play in this game. And you know what's funny is that, when situations like this unfold, he wouldn't sign the franchise tag. He just didn't want to come to camp. He didn't want to be a part of all those practices. For what? I'm going to stay in shape. I'm going to do what I'm doing. And before the season gets here, I'll show up. I know the defense. Nothing has changed. I'm comfortable. I'll jump right in and act as if I've never been gone. And so he had this planned all along. He would have loved to have struck a long-term deal with the Chiefs, but it didn't happen. I'll sign that franchise tag and show up right before the season because no one wants to lose money. At the end of the day, that's why he didn't sign the franchise tag, because if he would have tried to make a statement while having signed that franchise tag, he would have been fined every day, but they couldn't find him because he wasn't under contract. So he said, I'll show up. No one wants to lose money. So I'll show up, sign that deal before the season starts, and we can get right to work. So he's going to be in practice, and he's going to start doing all those things, and he has essentially 2 weeks to prepare for the season now. He'll be just fine. And so it was good to hear that he was back. You know what? People talk crazy when situations like this happen. I had a Tennessee Titans fan say, hey, man, I've been reading some articles, and some people say maybe the Chiefs will release Eric Berry. What do you think? I looked at him and I said, hell no, not releasing Eric Berry. Are you crazy? He said he could come on home. Being a Tennessee Titans fan, he went to UT. He could come on home. I said, come on, man. Bruh, stop. Seriously, cut it out. So good to see him back with this Chiefs team, even though he didn't play in this game. Good to know that EB is back in the saddle in Kansas City. Tyreek Hill, one of this team's draft picks from this past spring's draft. He looks explosive, man. He looks like the new Black Mamba on this football team, returning kickoffs. Had a nice kickoff return in this game. I like what I saw the Chiefs trying to do with him, and that's they're using him as a decoy, but they're also trying to integrate him into the flow of the offense. And the reason why I think that's a necessity, if you really want to maximize Tyreek Hill, is because you don't want to turn him into a Tavon Austin, which you'd be glad to get the production that the Rams get out of Tavon Austin from him. But no, you don't want to turn him into a Tavon Austin, Cordell Patterson type, especially a Cordell Patterson type, which is a guy that when he comes in the game, you know something's up. You know, he's the guy that when he comes in, you say, hey, you know, 81's in the game. Watch 81. Because you know when he comes in the game, something's about to happen because he's not in the game very often. They don't just send him on a curl pattern. They're not sending him on a deep dig. You know, when he comes in, it's a jet sweep. You know, it's a reverse. You know, it's something out of the ordinary. And you want them to not be alarmed when they see him in the game. So they put him in the game. He ran a curl route, but he dropped the goddamn football. So it's going to be hard for him to get in the game if you can't catch the football. But I like what they tried to do with him. He also had a jet sweep in this game. I think he's a dynamic playmaker that they understand if we can get the football in his hands, he can do some damage. Really like what I saw out of Tyreek Hill in this football game. 3 tight end package. My goodness, this thing looks like a work of art. If you're a Chiefs fan, you want to see more of this 3 tight end package, and I saw a bunch of it in this game, and I can't wait to see it during the regular season. Travis Kelce, of course, we know what he's about. I actually liked what I saw out of Demetrius Harris last season, and I said he's only going to get better. And I saw that in this game, had a nice catch over the middle of the field, had a couple of grabs, as a matter of fact, had a nice catch over the middle of the field for about a good 18 to 20 yards. He's going to be a factor in this offense this year, I believe. And then they got a new guy that I never heard of before, Ross Travis. First and foremost, never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. So I already don't trust him, okay? But Ross Travis looks athletic as hell. They showed me some clips. He was a basketball player at Penn State. Looks intriguing, man. And you put those kind of athletes all on the field together. The beauty of a 3 tight end set is you don't know what the hell's coming. I can run the football out of that. I can go play action pass out of that. I can start sending guys in motion, and I can start in a tight set, split guys out because they're all tight ends that are athletic that can catch them. I can do so many things out of a 3 tight set with 3 athletic tight ends who can block. The sky's the limit. The opportunities are limitless out of that formation. I am mesmerized by that 3 tight end package that the Chiefs have at their disposal. Want to see more of that. Offensive balance in this game. And what I mean by that is because there was actually no balance in this game offensively. What I mean by that is Alex Smith, dun-dun-dun-dun, Captain Checkdown! Captain Checkdown finding multiple targets. 8 different targets caught the football from Alex Smith in this football game as he was spreading the wealth around. And that's what this Chiefs football team is all about. About other guys touching the football. It was good to see Chris Conley get involved in the offense. We know what you're getting out of Jeremy Maclin. Good to see them spreading the football around. Talked about all these tight ends. Good to see them getting involved. Good to see them getting the backs involved out of the backfield. This offense has a chance to be a little bit more dynamic than they've been in the past. Not saying that they're going to start putting up 31 points a week, but they can start doing some things because they have some weapons. If they utilize them correctly, they could do some things on the offensive side of the football. Alex Smith is my next like. I mean, he's so steady, man. I mean, you know what you're getting. He's as even keel as the day is long. You're not going to have to worry about a bunch of turnovers. He doesn't make a lot of poor decisions with the football. He can hurt you with his legs, which I saw him do in this game. You know, it's 3rd and like 13, and he runs for 15. You know, he can tuck it and run on you in a heartbeat. So he adds that element and dimension to the game. And he's just a guy that's going to keep you ahead of the sticks, keep you on schedule. I've never seen a more on-schedule offense than this Chiefs offense. They'll get 4 on first down. They'll get another 4 on second down. Now it's 3rd and 2. Hard to stop them because they thrive in the short passing game. So it's going to be tough. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Tough to stop them from keeping the sticks moving because they operate at a very high clip in the short passing game. So if it's 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, it's going to be tough to get this Chiefs football team off the field. And Alex Smith is a huge part of the reason why they're able to be so successful in this offense. And then the defense was dominant in this game. Just absolutely smothering in this game. The Bears didn't help their cause. They made some mistakes, but make no mistake about it. even without Tamba Hali in the lineup, even without Justin Houston in the lineup, they still went out and smothered this Bears offense. We'll talk about that here in a second. Let's get to the dislikes. And just one more fact on the defense. They struggled a week ago versus the Los Angeles Rams. And so everybody was kind of anxious to see what would be the follow-up to that. And they came out and they exerted their will on that Bears offense in this football game. So good to see them getting back to the basics and not allowing the Bears to do anything offensively in this football game. Let's get to the dislikes. Mitch Morse, your center, and you're looking for continuity. You want guys to play together with one another. He was ill. He got ill. He was ill before the game, didn't play. So it's good to know it's not a physical injury, like a actual physical body injury. He just was feeling ill to his stomach. Hopefully he doesn't have like food poisoning or anything that serious where he's losing weight, can't put any food in his body or anything like that. But he didn't play in this game, so that was on my dislike list. Red zone offense. For as dominant as the Chiefs were offensively in this game, and they dominated the time of possession, they had the football for over 21 minutes of the first half. Remember, there's only 30 minutes and a half of football, okay? They had it for over 21 of those first half minutes. So they had it for literally 21 of 30 minutes in this game in the first half. That's insane. And yet, they didn't have any points really to show for it until the last possession for them in the first half, where they were able to get into the end zone and make it 13-0. Without that touchdown, it was 6-0. And because they struggled in the red zone, having to settle for a couple of Cairo Santos field goals. If you get down there, you have to punch it in. They were unsuccessful in doing so. I need to see that red zone offense perk up a little bit, because I just talked about this team needing to score more points. That's not the way to do it, kicking field goals in the red zone. And Alex Smith taking big hits is my final dislike. He took some shots in this game, and I wasn't fond of the offensive line in front of him allowing him to take some shots. Now, I know Alex Smith will roll out, and probably the biggest hit that he took, the one that he showed the most ill effects from, was when he actually rolled out of the pocket, avoided a defender, and then planted and stopped so that he could throw the football. And unsuspecting and unbeknownst to Alex Smith, that defender that he left in his wake earlier on the play was bearing down on him and coming to blaze him from behind, knocking him into the second guy that he was able to elude. And so they kind of made a sandwich out of Alex Smith. And after the play, he was hunched over. He was grimacing a little bit. He took a couple of shots in this game, not comfortable with seeing my starting quarterback taking the types of shots and grimacing after plays like I saw with Alex Smith in this football game. So that was my final dislike for the Kansas City Chiefs in this game. The banana in the tailpipe for the Chiefs. Alex Smith threw the football 30 times. Let me repeat myself. Alex Smith, dun, 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 captain, check down. Captain check down threw the football 30 times in the first half. In the first half. He's never doing that again. So you know that's the banana in the tailpipe. He might not even throw it 30 times in a whole game this season. That's so unlike the Chiefs offensively. Unless they're behind, if they have it their way, Alex Smith will throw the football anywhere from 20 to 28 times in a ball game. He should never see 30, not the way this offense is set up. Yet, he threw it a whole 30 times in the first half of this game. Are you kidding me? No way they're doing that again. That's my banana in the tailpipe. That doesn't even sound right. Coming from Alex Smith, they're not doing that. That's not the way this Chiefs offense is set up. Not for him to throw it 30 times in the first half. Hell, not to throw it 30 times in a ball game, but 30 times in the first half, I can assure you that will not happen again. Not in the regular season. Let's go on to the Chicago Bears. Likes. Not a lot to like from this game from the Bears. I'm going to be upfront with you. Do like Jeremy Langford, though. And we know that they're missing Matt Forte. Hell, we know they're missing Adam Gase, and it looked like they were missing both of those guys in this game. However, I like Jeremy Langford. I think there's a lot of things that he can do out of that backfield, catch it, run it. There wasn't a lot of space for him in this game. I will say that. But you can tell there was one play, Derek Johnson had him dead to rights in the backfield, and he stiff-armed him and was able to pick up about 4 yards on a play that easily, a lesser back would have been tackled for a 4-yard loss. Instead, he stiff-armed him and then picked up another 4 yards on the play. So I like Jeremy Langford. He can do some things. He can catch it out of the backfield. We saw the Bears last year split him out wide as a receiver and throw him the football. We saw what he did in the Chargers game, and we saw what he did in the Rams game last year. He's a dynamic threat out of that backfield. I like Jeremy Langford. I thought he was solid in this game. Nobody was good for the Bears in this game. I thought he was solid. Red zone defense was probably the one thing that the Bears could hang their hat on in this game, was red zone defense. They were laying the wood too. I will say, a couple of those dudes, they were dropping a hammer. Jarrell Freeman had a shot in this game, lit the running back up, then kind of got up to celebrate, and next thing you know, he tweaked something and had to walk off the field. I said, hey, young fella, hey, big fella, chill out with all of that. And he had to walk off the field, but he blazed that running back, lit his ass up. And they were hitting. Number 29, he's got two names. He's got a hyphenated name, something Quarte or something like that. Man, that dude he's aggressive. You know, he wasn't always hitting somebody, but he just around. He just wanted to do something. I like that. There's a lot of aggressiveness with this Bears defense, and that red zone defense stepped up because the way this game was played, statistically, this game should have been like 24-0 at halftime. But because the red zone defense buckled down for the Bears, they were able to keep this game within arm's reach. It was 6-0, and they rarely even had the ball in the first half because the offense stunk and the defense couldn't get off the field on third downs. And even when they would stop them on third downs, Andy Reid was like, hey, man, it's fourth down. It's the preseason. Keep the party going, man. And they would pick it up. So it was good to see the red zone defense stand up for the Bears because if not, this game would have got out of hand and they would have got their asses whooped at home. It was quiet at Soldier Field, man. It was quiet because the Bears weren't doing anything. Nothing. But that red zone defense was the one bright spot in this game. Dislikes. Alshon Jeffrey drops a pass on the third possession of the game, and I'm not sure that one doesn't go for a touchdown, for 70 yards. The defender on the play, MP Double Deuce, a.k.a. the Kansas City Thief, Marcus Peters, fell down on the play. It won't nothing but space and opportunity between Alshon Jeffrey and the end zone. Just about 60 yards of grass. That's it. All he had to do was catch the football. But he dropped it. Now, I will say Jay put some sauce, some hot sauce to go on that ball. It was piping hot. But Alshon is supposed to be one of those guys with some of the strongest hands in the league. He was supposed to catch that football. So that one hurt because to me, it was a microcosm of what was to come for them in this game. Had he caught that football, the whole first half looks totally different in this game. They don't get shut out. We're not talking about -7 passing yards in the first half. We're not talking about, time possession being what it was. We're not talking about the dominance of this Chiefs defense, the sluggishness of this Bears offense. We're not talking about none of that if he catches that football because it's a totally different half. Instead, he dropped it. Catch the football. You want a long-term deal? You want to get broken off? Gotta catch that football, man. That's what playmakers do. That's what number one wide receivers do. Catch the football. Make plays. That was an opportunity to make a huge play in this game. And he dropped the football. Tracy Porter got a concussion. Tracy balled for y'all last year. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's either hit or miss with Tracy Porter every single year. You can get some great, phenomenal play out of Tracy one year, and the next year, Tracy's back to being banged up, and you rarely even see him. This is a bad omen for a Tracy Porter season. When he's already banged up before the season gets started, normally that's going to be the theme of the season for him. I remember him in New Orleans. Hell of a football player. When healthy, helped them win the Super Bowl. You remember the pick when he was pointing, when he got the pick versus Peyton Manning to seal the deal. Yeah, that was good Tracy. There was also bad Tracy that couldn't stay healthy, which is why the Saints said, all right, man, we're going to let you walk. Then he goes to Denver. They don't even get to see that young man play football. He was hurt entire season, on and off. So they got rid of him after 1 year. Then he went to Oakland. Played really good for the Raiders. Stayed healthy the whole season. We were like, whoa. So the Redskins said, hey, you look good last year. We're going to give you a run. Hurt the whole damn season. In and out of the lineup, banged up. Redskins said, hey, 1 year is enough of that, man. Then he goes to Chicago. Plays well. Bears are like, man, we got a steal. Now he's got a concussion. I'm hoping that the theme of his career doesn't continue and this is the off year where he's all banged up. But it's not looking good. If the past is any indication of what the future may hold for Tracy Porter, you're not going to get a lot of good quality football out of Tracy Porter this season. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Hopefully, it's not a serious concussion, and hopefully you're able to get some healthy Tracy Porter that performed for you last year. We'll see. The offense. Oh my goodness. The Alshon Jeffrey drop was bad. This is the offense. 20 total yards in the first half. That's pretty hard to do. 8 minutes of time of possession. Again, 30 minutes in the first half. Only 8 went to the Bears on offense. Again, pretty hard to do. But this is the kicker right here. This is the one that'll blow your mind. -7 passing yards. Let me repeat that. -7 passing yards. Remember, they had 20 total yards. So 27 was rushing yards. Then you got to give me 7 of those back because you got -7 passing yards. That's hard to do, man. That means you got sacked a couple of times. Your guys that did catch the football didn't go anywhere. Kevin White had a catch for like 3 yards. You know, what am I supposed to do with that, man? Seriously, what am I supposed to do with that? 2 whole first downs. 2 whole first downs. And guess what? They came on the first possession of the game. They were terrible in this game. The only performance that I could think of that was worse offensively that I saw in week 3 of the preseason was the Carolina Panthers. The only difference between the Panthers and the Bears is, oh yeah, by the way, the Panthers went to the Super Bowl last year. And they're actually a good football team. They just had a bad night. This Bears team, not a Super Bowl team. So you can't afford to have games like this. You can't just shake this off and say, hey, we all right because we know how to win. We know how to get it done. You don't. So this is ugly. And with questions already surrounding the team like, hey, can Jay Cutler and this offense perform without Adam Gase? And I look down and I see this. I'm saying, I don't know. I'm saying, hey, wait, they don't need Matt Forte. I don't know. Because this didn't happen when Matt Forte was on the football team. Say what you want. Matt Forte, you can run the football. You can throw it to him out of the backfield. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. The offense in this game for the Bears, pathetic. Got to step your game up. And the banana in the tailpipe, offensive ineptitude. Look, I know it was bad. It was really bad. But I'm not sold that they're going to be that bad offensively this year. I'm just not. There's no way they're going to be that bad week in and week out this season. They're not going to be as good as they were last year under Adam Gase. It's going to be a different offense. They don't have Matt Forte anymore to rely on. Yeah, there's going to be some growing pains there, but at the end of the day, they're not going to look anywhere near as bad as they did in this game. That's my banana. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. They're not going to look that bad offensively in 2016. They're going to have some moments. They're going to have some games where you're like, man, the Bears stunk today. But they're not going to be like that consistently throughout the 2016 season. So that's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears in this football game. I'm going to go to Twitter quickly, see if there's anything there. Like always, I doubt that there's any comments there, but I'm going to check anyway. And no, there aren't any comments, but I do have a couple of comments here in the discussion on YouTube, so I'm going to answer those. Andrew Kim asks the following, or says the following: the Chiefs' offense was good, or the Bears' secondary wasn't. I'll say both. The Chiefs offensively, they were solid in this game. I liked some of the stuff, the wrinkles that I saw, the 3 tight end set. I'm enamored with that. I'm fascinated by that 3 tight end set. They were able to spread the football around, try some things, do some things. The secondary for the Bears wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. They couldn't get off the field on third downs. That was their biggest issue. But like I said, they found a way to buckle down in the red zone, and that's when it counts. You can let a team go from 20 to 20, but once they hit that red zone, you got to find a way to limit them to a field goal, and that's what they were able to do for 2 out of the 3 trips to the red zone in the first half. Jonathan Lynch says, do you think the Bears will miss Matt Forte this year? Yes, I do think the Bears will miss Matt Forte this year. Now, to what extent, that remains to be seen, because I think a lot of the things Matt Forte brings, you can get those same things out of Jeremy Langford. Now, is Jeremy Langford as dynamic out in space as Matt Forte? No. Matt Forte has one of the most prolific cutbacks in this league. He sticks his foot in the ground, and it's a pronounced cutback. When he sticks his foot in the ground, you're usually guaranteed to have one defender miss. He's that dynamic out in space. Matt Forte, an excellent pass catcher out of the backfield. We've seen the numbers he's put up throughout his career as an all-purpose back. Langford can be an all-purpose back, but he's not on the same level as a Matt Forte. And I think that's where you're going to miss Forte. When the offense is stagnant like it was in this game, you used to be able to say, yeah, we're going to turn around, hand it to Matt. Or, yeah, we're going to split Matt out against the linebacker and have him win that matchup. I think Langford can do that too, but not on the same level as a Matt Forte. So, yes, I do think the Bears are going to miss him. The question for me isn't, are they going to miss him, is how much. To what extent do the Bears miss Matt Forte in 2016? We will find out, but they will miss his presence. That is for certain. I just don't know if they'll miss him as much as most people think. So that's going to do it for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bears in week 3 of the preseason. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Remember, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. I will see you later on in the week when I start unveiling the 2016 upcoming fall schedule for the Louie Tee Network. See you later on in the week.